Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the 5 greatest Mahler Mezzos. Mezzo sopranos or contraltos. I mean, it just sounds better with the alliteration, Mahler Mezzos. I suppose you thought we were only going to be talking about, like, pianists and conductors, but no, absolutely not. We can also do singers, albeit in a more limited way, because I am not going to get into the opera insanity with people screeching and screaming about, so-and-so who recorded an aria in 1912 and an acoustic horn. It can get very crazy. But no, these are all mezzo-sopranos who made a reputation, or altos, singing Mahler, specifically Mahler. And that's a very narrow niche, I understand. But there were some really prominent names who had extraordinary affinity for Mahler's music and sang with great insight and inwardness and poetry and all of those things. And we have them here. And the first one is actually pretty instructive, I think, of how I'm thinking about this series generally, because it's Kathleen Ferrier, who I personally don't really care for, largely because her famous Das Lied von der Erde with Julius Patzak and Bruno Walter with the Vienna Phil on Decca Mono sounds lousy. It really does. She was ill. I mean, let's face it, she was ill. She was past her prime. The voice was not in great shape. She sings with great feeling, great affect. There's no question about it. And she always did. And she sang a beautiful Kindertotenlieder and some other Mahler songs with Bruno Walter mostly. And I think earned her reputation as a distinctive Mahler singer. As a singer more generally, the adulation and folderol and all the craziness that goes on whenever her name comes up, especially in the UK, I can do without that. But I am more than willing and happy to recognize her achievement as a Mahler singer at a time when a lot of singers weren't doing Mahler and where Mahler wasn't really a thing. It was because of her that Mahler sort of became a thing. So I give her full credit for that. So Kathleen Ferrier has to be on the list, whether you particularly care for her or not. And that was the point, my friends. That's the point. It's not always about what you like and what you don't like. It's about what is, what the objective reality out there is. So after Kathleen Ferrier, Maureen Forrester, the great Canadian alto or mezzo or whatever you want to call her, who did a terrific Des Knaben Wunderhorn on Vanguard and a wonderful Mahler third with Bernard Haitink and Das Lied von der Erde with Fritz Reiner. I mean, she was really doing Mahler. And I think it's wonderful that she was a very gifted singer. She was better known actually for her Baroque repertoire. She did a lot of those Handel oratorios and things also on Vanguard. She made a wonderful career for herself, a singer of great soul and intelligence and artistry, and she had a lovely voice. That helps. I mean, that really, really, really helps, doesn't it? So Maureen Forrester has to be on anybody's short list of great Mahler mezzos, as does Marilyn Horne. Now, Marilyn Horne, the thing about Marilyn Horne that fascinates me is that she never did Das Lied von der Erde, I don't think. I mean, there may be a live one out there somewhere. Did I miss something? It's possible. I don't know. But her Mahler is fabulous. She did the Kindertotenlieder, Rückert songs, and Songs of a Wayfarer for Decca. She sung Urlicht in the alto solos in Mahler's third symphonies and second symphonies, the mezzo solos. And the wonderful thing about Marilyn Horne is that she is such a great singer in anything that she does. Her reputation is the bel canto stuff in Rossini and Handel, Baroque music. She could spit out more notes per second than any human being alive, but she still has a gorgeous legato, a distinctive timbre, a truly wonderful way with the text, amazing diction, and all of that counts as well when you're singing Mahler. And her Mahler is really inward and lovely. She's said that she wants the song Ich bin der Welt abhanden gekommen to be performed at her funeral, or something like that. I mean, she identifies with the music. There's no question about it. And her recording was always shunted aside because it wasn't her supposed expertise. But it's as good as anything out there. It's tremendous. Next, Christa Ludwig. Oh, who's going to argue with Christa Ludwig? I mean, seriously. one of the great leader singers and great mezzos of the 20th century. She was one of the Das Lied von der Erde gals. She sort of showed up whenever anyone was doing Das Lied von der Erde, singing it magnificently. She did the Second Symphony with Leonard Bernstein and others, Zubin Mehta, I think, and others. She did, let's see, we talked about the Second Symphony, the Third. No, she didn't do the Third. She did the Second, and she did, what's the other thing? Oh, Das Knaben Wunderhorn with Bernstein, and her husband, Walter Berry, at that point. Really an amazing singer, a tremendous talent, and one of the icons of 20th century leader singing. So she definitely has to be on the list. And also one of the icons of 20th century leader singing and concert singing generally was Janet Baker. And Janet Baker's Mahler song cycles with both Leonard Bernstein and John Barbaroli are legendary. Her Das Lied von der Erde with Bernhard Haitink is iconic. I mean, just fantastic. And of course, she did many, many other things. All of these singers did. You can't make just a career doing Mahler. He didn't write all that much. But you can make a career doing Mahler in the sense that Mahler has become such an important composer and such a significant composer for so many people that attaching yourself to that repertoire and really acquiring expertise and being recognized for it can become a serious chunk of your career. And these marvelous mezzos and altos did just that. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.